Hi everybody, it's Wednesday, and so it's day for our midweek time of prayer. And this week what's been on my heart is the many people in our church who are caring for loved ones who are slowly in decline. I have the honor as a pastor to sometimes come and be with people and pray with people and be witness to their faithfulness, their loving care. And so the prayer this week is one that I hope will be an encouragement to all of you who are caring for someone who's in decline. And if you are not personally caring for someone, a family member or a loved one who's in decline, perhaps you know someone who is, and you might forward this prayer on to them as a way of encouraging them. This prayer comes from Every Moment Holy, Volume 2, and it's called a liturgy for those who tend a loved one in decline. You know, O Lord, how much a heart can take, the limits of our love, the limits of our strength. You know the toll this long-term caring for another exacts from body, mind, and soul. For the grief we know is not the sudden sword fall of a single tragic moment. Rather, it is like a steep spiraling staircase, which we descend for endless days and nights, tending a loved one whose independence, awareness, and enjoyment of life are diminished incrementally step by downward step as helplessness increases. We lament each past happiness that will never come again, comparing what is now to what was then, those good memories ever added to our growing inventory of things passed out of reach. We mourn also the lost possibilities, the dreams and joys and might have beens that now will never be. And all the while we grieve to see how each small mastery of life gives way to greater need. We grieve the whole way down. To care so very much, while knowing how our labors will eventually end, not with recovery and wellness, but with a final breath, a hand held, a warmth slipping away. That is hard knowledge, day by day to carry. For we are not nursing our dear one back to health, but stewarding their slow surrender of it. Love is wearying in this way, and even we who deeply love the ones we serve need grace upon grace upon grace, lest we despair. For in our giving we are drained and so often depleted. We long for what we are too long without, respite and refreshment. So be our rest, Lord Christ, when there is no other rest to find. In the midst of long nights and lonely grief, be our comfort. Be present with us in the deepest heart of our hard service. Even as we carry this burden, let us know that we are also carried by you, so that through this season your tender compassions and your unfailing love become our strength. As our own reserves are exhausted in these labors, teach us what it means to lean always upon your arms. Renew our strength and rekindle our hope. Replenish our love. Let your holy promises also shape and shepherd our imaginations, that we might come to view these acts of service not as they seem when framed by weakness and grief, but from the truer vantage of eternity, in which all our long labors of sorrowing love are preparing for us an eternal weight of glory. For that is where all of this is going. These hours given to tending are not lost and rendered meaningless by death, but instead are as well invested as time could ever be. These acts are the tear-watered seas that will bloom into resurrected joys. So let me peer into this mystery even now, O Christ, with the eyes of faith, seeing how every act of service I render to my loved one is an act that echoes forward into your eternity. This will not be a story that ends in the defeat it seems. Yes, there is weeping here, and yes, there will be a goodbye, but then they will be hidden for time with Christ in God. And when our King returns, they will return with him to a creation remade, and our sadness now will be seen in retrospect as the birth pangs of the eternal joys to come. Remember that, my soul. Remember that end is the ocean to which all rivers and rivulets of history flow. That is the end and the beginning. Our own story rushes to meet. So take heart. It is only for a time. And now, O Lord, let me serve my loved one now, in light of the glory of who they will be, when all these losses we lament will be paid back 10 million times.